Hello, welcome back to Puerto Vallarta. Among the many things to do here at the resort, watching beautiful sunsets, another great one. We're going to talk about getting or trying to get you a little bit better of a deal off the beach here. Any of you guys have known who've been to Mexico, there's a lot of sales that occur on the beach. Basically, it's a great way they bring the goods to the tourist. However, for that convenience, a lot of times the prices get jacked up a little bit, and it kind of takes a little bit of advantage of the tourists in that sense too. So I'm going to try and run you through the game plan here and try and tip the tables a little bit back in your favor, or at least get you a fair price on stuff. So, keeping that in mind, if you don't have the opportunity like Puerto Vallarta to go visit the Malecon or the boardwalk, the downtown street fairs, the different things that you can kind of go to the shop and purchase the good. A lot of the goods are the very same out here on the beach in the hotel zone. The thing that you can control in this situation is how you interact with the salesperson. Salesperson typically can't come into the resort area, so you'll go out to them, you'll interact, you can find a price, and then they'll come back to you. So you always have the opportunity here to kind of break the deal or to leave the deal, walk back to the resort, and they've, so to speak, lost you. That's your biggest bargaining chip in this whole situation. So like any negotiation, you never want to offer your price first. You'll always want to make them give you a price. So, and in that same notion, you typically don't want to start out with the good that you want the most first. So if they have three things, you'll want to maybe pick the second favorite one. And in that process, you'll ask them, well, how much? And they'll probably ask you back, well, how much is it worth to you? And the best thing you can say at this point is, well, it's not really, it's nice, and you always want to be appreciative of their work. There is a little bit of hard work that goes into these products, but you want to, you don't want to show that attachment right away, just because then the price they're going to give you, because they are the salespeople, they have to make the sale. You are the buyer, the pressure's on them. Don't let them flip that around. They've got a lot of very good mind tricks, different psychological games where they want to make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel guilty. They're trying to throw free things in the process, but just keep in mind that the pressure is on them to make the sale, not you to make the buy. So they'll say a price. Let's say they had, for instance, earlier today we got a couple of wooden sculptures. The price started at is roughly 480 pesos. We ended up buying it for just about 200, which is a little bit under 50% of what he originally offered. So keep in mind how busy they are. They've got a lot of people walking by, a lot of people doing business with them. The price you're going to get isn't going to be very good today. Now, if it's a slow day on the beach, it's a little bit rainy, the wind's up, whatever the case is, there's not a lot of tourists around, odds are you're going to have a better chance of getting a deal. So like today, I approached them at roughly 10 in the morning, pointed out a couple of items that I may have some interest in, initiated a process of negotiating. They started at around, like I said, 480. I kind of roughly offered them about, $10 US, roughly 180 pesos at the time here. So you kind of want to pick a price about halfway, a little bit lower than halfway of what they're offering. And this is going to be, everywhere. It's going to vary. What's the quality of the good? That's something you really have to pay attention to, is a lot of stuff is made in China these days. So don't just assume because it's coming from a beach salesperson that it's handmade or handcrafted. You can tell if the good is mass-produced or not by picking it up, feeling it, looking at it. If it feels of quality, it probably is. So keep that in mind. You'll want to start roughly around 50% in Mexico is a good starting point. And then I always like to come up another 10% at the end to kind of seal the deal. If at any point you feel pressure, you feel like you're not making a good buy, you can simply walk away. They'll find you. We didn't actually make the purchase of the wood sculpture until after 5 o'clock in the evening, and we had started negotiation at roughly 10 a.m. So throughout the day, we had a few more exchanges with the person, and we kept letting them know, it's like, no, really, your goods are nice, but this is simply the price we can pay. And they'll work hard to make that deal. And if they can't, If their prices, you know, they're not going to sell an item at a loss. So, you know, they'll keep trying to find you, they'll keep trying to work that. So that's why it's so important to set that first negotiating point well. Look at the item, see how it's valued to you. And again, it doesn't have to be that valuable, it's how bad you want it as a person. And then hopefully you can kind of come up with a price, and you don't have to worry about getting as ripped off, or maybe you'll even score a really good deal while you're out on the beach. So check in for more videos and tips from us, and we'll hope that you'll have a wonderful negotiating exchange on your next trip.